in Lewis.
All right, so I want to play this audio before we get into anything. This is from WBOC. This was last night. Worcester County man has been formally charged in the death of Gavin Knupp. Knupp of Ocean Pines was 14 when he was killed in a hit-and-run crash last July near Berlin.
Charges filed in the hit-and-run death of a Worcester County teen. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight here at 6 o'clock. I'm Steve Hammond. Since last July, the call has been justice for Gavin. Gavin Knupp was 14 years old when he was killed by a black Mercedes while walking on Gray's Corner Road near Berlin. Now, the Worcester County State's Attorney has filed charges against the man they say was behind the wheel. WBOC's Chris Weimer joins us now on the Newsplex. Chris, that man is 22-year-old Tyler Mayu from Berlin.
Steve, Mayu faces 17 charges. They all center around the claim he was behind the wheel the night of July 11th, 2022. The charges range from felonies to misdemeanors. They accuse Mayu of failing to stop at the scene of the accident, not rendering aid, failing to return to the scene, and failing to report the accident. But the most serious count, that Mayu did not stop his vehicle in an accident that killed Knupp. That felony carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. According to the court documents, the charges were filed Friday. They were mailed to Mayu's home in Berlin. Mayu remains free at this time. His first court appearance scheduled for May 31st in Snow Hill.
All right, Chris Weimer, thank you for that. I sat down with Gavin Knupp's mother, Tiffany, this morning, and as you can imagine, this day brings a wide range of emotions.
And I think the hardest thing for me this morning was to see the case number and realize my son is now a case number. So it's tough. It's tough. It's a whole new, a lot of feelings involved, and it's been so hard to get to this point.
It has been a long time, 294 days to be exact, since 14-year-old Gavin was hit and killed. While there has been a lot of public frustration at how long it's taken, Tiffany Knupp has high praise for the prosecutor and investigators.
Chris Heiser, our state's attorney, is so amazing, and they've worked so hard to get us to this point. And we want to thank the community and our family and our friends for just giving us the strength to push through everything that we've pushed through to get to this point.
And she was confident that this day would come.
We were never worried about it, not once. And we had total faith, and we've said that a million times to everyone. And, it's when you go through this, being on the inside of it, you know how long it takes for a case like this.
There are a lot of unanswered questions right now. The state's attorney is not commenting, citing rules limiting pretrial publicity. Are you frustrated that there is not a manslaughter charge?
I'm upset with that. Yeah, it was tough coming to those terms. But also it's not going to bring Gavin back, and we have to just kind of get what we get right now.
Does she think Tyler Mayu will spend time in prison?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I hope he's worried about this. I hope he's scared, and I hope he's, the stress is finally hitting them. And, I would love, and I know I'm not going to see this, but the day that I see him in the eyes in court, I would love to see remorse. And I know I'm not going to, and it's hard to prepare myself for that.
What's your message to Tyler and his family today?
You took my son. As I sit here right now and I look at his ashes behind you, nothing is ever going to bring him back. And I can't wait to look at him in his face. I would have a lot to say, and we're going to wait till the day that he's sentenced and he's going to jail. And it's coming. So.
And you're talking to Gavin today too, I bet.
I am. I feel him a lot today, and he's given us the strength to kind of move on and move forward. Not move on, but move forward and get us through this as well. So I hope he's smiling right now. So a step forward in the Knupp family's fight for justice for Gavin.
You can see my entire interview with Tiffany Knupp on our website and on our Facebook page.
Wow, there you go. That, of course, was from WBOC yesterday. Just sad news. Hopefully, finally, a little justice for Gavin.
Gosh. So yes, finally charges are filed in connection with that 2022 death of Gavin Knupp. If convicted on all charges, Tyler could face up to 42 years and 8 months behind bars. On Grace Corner Road, though, the community members have raised safety concerns about this roadway. Shortly after his death, there was another hit and run there on Grace Corner as well. Mary Beth Carroza has been an advocate for the area, working with the State Highway Administration to improve safety, some additional lighting to supplement on Grace Corner Road. But the real major improvement was lowering the speed limit to from 50 miles per hour down to 40 along that stretch on 589 up until Glen Riddle. So
She's great.
that's what we know so far. That's
Mary
your
Beth
update.
Carroza. She's
Absolutely.
always,
Yes.
she's always doing, for the community
Yep.
and,
Now, she also said that they have seen already lots of improvements in that area, and she says that they continue to work with local law enforcement on any other changes that need to be made as well.
sad, man.
Then something else happened yesterday, making the headlines as well. Police are investigating a fatal crash involving a pedestrian in the Ocean Pines area. Details are very limited at this time, but we are told that the crash happened just before 9:30 a.m. on Monday in the 1100 block of Ocean Parkway. The Worcester County Sheriff's Office assumed the investigation at the request of the Ocean Pines Police Department. Again, this is an active investigation, but if anyone has any information at all, please call 410-632-1111. And schools on lockdown yesterday and tons of misinformation.
Yeah, this was a
Made the
crazy story.
headlines.
This was on Eastern Shore Undercover, I saw.
Yes, I'm going to read it exactly from there on how this all, transpired. But the headline says schools on lockdown and misinformation. Now, when this was posted, it says over the past 45 minutes, there's been a lot of chaos as a result of a post that was made on another page. As a result, parents have been steadily messaging Eastern Shore Undercover about an active shooter at a local school and Y High. So they went on to say, let me first say that there is no active shooter at Y High, and there is no active shooter at Choices Academy. There is no active shooter in Wycomico County, Maryland. At approximately 11 a.m., Choices Academy went on lockdown due to a report of a person been seen carrying a weapon, a gun, outside of the school. At that time, the school went into a safe in place. Being that Choices Academy is somewhat close to East Salisbury Elementary School, Y High, and Y Middle, the schools were placed in a safe in place status out of precaution. As I have explained to many people in messages, had this been a real active shooter, agencies from all across the shore would have responded to the location in an expedited fashion. You would have heard nothing but sirens coming from all over the shore, and that was not the case. This was simply a precautionary measure as a call was dispatched and it needed to be taken seriously. This is why we wait before posting things like this, so that we get it right and there's no confusion and parents are not sent into pure chaos over stress of thinking that their child is in any location of an active shooter.
So there was no active shooter.
No. Nope. And then they end it saying that if this was an actual active shooter, Eastern Shore Undercover would have heard it on the radio and would have provided information for parents, teachers, and of course, our community.
Wow. All right. Well.
Scary, right?
Yeah.
So it was posted on another page,
Okay.
and parents went into pure chaos.
Of course.
Yep.
Wow. And then also, I wanted to mention this story. The jury trial for Austin Davidson, the man accused of killing Corporal Glenn Hilliard in June of 2022, began yesterday morning. He's being tried through the Wycomico County Circuit Court of Salisbury. Davidson faces 18 charges, including felonies for first and second degree murder and possession of a firearm with a previous felony conviction. He's also charged with a variety of misdemeanors for burglary and illegal possession of a gun. After a 2019 armed robbery conviction for which Davidson served no jail time, he was prohibited from owning firearms. On June 12, 2022, Hilliard was trying to arrest Davidson on numerous felony warrants when Davidson shot at him multiple times, according to authorities. Hilliard, of course, served for 10 years in different departments of the Wicomico County Sheriff's Office, as well as in other positions as a police officer and a fireman. The trial could take up to 2 weeks. So, of course, we're remembering Corporal Glenn Hilliard.
Of course. We'll follow that as well.
Wow. Yeah, that was another big story on the shore yesterday. So, 647. It's the Bill and Jessica show. We got sports on the way. Here's a lot of Pat. It's called Rodeo. Bill and Jessica show. Good morning.